A potential ban on smoking in pub gardens. Ministers are thought to be considering measures that would put a stop to smoking outside sports venues, nightclubs and in small parks as well. A Department of Health and Social Care spokesperson said, "We do not comment on leaks. Smoking claims 80,000 lives a year, puts huge pressure on our NHS and costs taxpayers billions. We are determined to protect children and non-smokers from the harms of second-hand smoking. We're considering a range of measures to finally make Britain smoke-free." Let's speak to our political correspondent Darren McCaffrey, who joins me now. And Darren, this is the Labour government very much picking up where the Conservatives left off.
Yeah, and in many ways, actually going further, because we know that Rishi Sunak, of course, when he was Prime Minister, wanted effectively to phase out smoking entirely by having a cut-off date at which you could buy cigarettes. So when essentially you were a certain age, you couldn't buy them anymore. Labour are still planning to do that, but it looks like they may well be adding to it. The reason I say it looks like it, because, first of all, this story appeared in the Sun newspaper this morning from apparently leaked Whitehall documents. The Department for Health there saying they're not going to comment on leaks. I've been around the block a few times here at Westminster. I wouldn't be surprised, correct me if I'm wrong, Department of Health, if maybe the leak came from them themselves to see what the public reaction to this may well be. It is all from what government departments do, isn't it? They kind of put out stories to see how the public could react. And I say it is quite extensive in the sense when you look at the list of places they're talking about banning smoking, it's quite long. It ranges from restaurant terraces to pub gardens to certain sized parks to outside hospitals, stadiums, maybe even shisha cafes not being able to operate. Now, the government's argument, or the argument I'm sure they would make in that statement, is that 80,000 people die every year from, smoking-related illnesses, that they want to see those numbers fall, that second-hand smoke is still a problem. Fundamentally, there are many people, though, who will feel very uncomfortable about this. I think two main arguments. First of all is the economic one. There'll be pubs and restaurants who may feel that by effectively having to turn smokers away, even outside their premises, will have an impact on revenue. And second of all, there'll be many on the right, libertarians, who feel that this goes too far. It's too nanny-state. Is the government intervening too much in people's lives, not least of all when smoking still remains legal? So it's a really interesting argument. I'm sure it's going to play out in the days ahead. But ultimately, if the government do want to force this through, they've got such a large majority, they'll have no concern getting the legislation through Parliament if that's the path they decide to follow.
Darren, for now, thanks a lot.